I was thinking about that on our mastermind yesterday, and even this morning on the accountability. Like, it feels like you see the Russell Bruntons and the Jenna Kuchner, they're all like, you see them all polished.
Yeah.
And so sometimes in the master group class, it's sort of like, are we even on the right track? Because you don't see that backside, right? Which, anyway, but yeah, no, this is exactly what it is. This is, yeah.
So I'll actually share something pretty cool that I noticed with that yesterday. I'm in a new coaching program called 2CCX with ClickFunnels, where I'm one of the clients. And then so they've got 2CCX is one level of coaching. Then they have the next level, which is called his inner circle, and it's $50,000 a year to be in the inner circle. Then they have the next level, which is called Category Kings, which is I think $125,000 a year to be in that. So this week he was doing some training, and for the inner circle and Category Kings, they were all in Boise. It was live. And then as 2CCX, we got the stream.
Okay.
And but it was cool because he did so many Q&As, and it was like the backstage stuff. You know, there is times like someone asks something, he's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know that answer. We'll have to. And so it was cool to see that side of it.
Yeah. Not just the on stage polished, it looks like. Yeah. And I get sometimes caught up in, okay, that's where I should be. But everybody's doing this, like they've all had to do be on this, right? They've had to,
And it's actually funny. I can't remember. I think it might have been in the One Funnel Away challenge that he shows a video of one of his first presentations.
Yes, I've seen
Have
it.
you seen that?
Yes. It's so great. Yeah, it makes
I think that was the one that the toilet flushed in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I missed that. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good because you've got to become that person, and it's all good.
Yeah, just keep going. Yep, no, it's true. It's true.
And it's like we were talking the other day too. You know, who you are now is so different than who you were a year ago. It's so different who you were in May, and the progression has been really cool to see.
Yeah, it feels like it took a long time, like even till May. It felt like when that was a couple of years, and then from May to now feels like it's gone faster.
Yeah. And that's what's the terminology? I can't remember the terminology they use in U squared, but it's how quick it can just all of a sudden happen.
Right. Yeah.
That overnight success that took you 3 years.
Exactly. Right. That's the thing. And that's what we see. We only see the overnight success part of it, but it's taken all that, to get to. I was just actually, so every time that we're on something, I write down names of books that you recommend, or wherever I am that recommend, but I have 2 credits that I need to use for my trip across. Do you have any recommendations?
Oh, dang it. There are so many. Yes.
Well, this is what I have in my library right now. I have The Alchemist. I have How Are You Really by Jenna. I have The Two Heroes Journey. I have The Greatest Salesman, but I need that as actually in the book so that I have the scrolls. I've done the story part of it, and now they're going through the scrolls, but you really need those to read, right? Yeah. I have The 1 Minute Millionaire, which I've read, but I'm going to do that one. That one will be. I have The Anti-Time Management, but I need it in the book as well. I have The Alter Ego Effect, Be Your Future Self Now, Illogical, and Living Untethered. I can't remember why I put that. Anyway, it's in there too.
Okay.
Knowing where I am and what my goal is.
There are, there's one I was going to suggest, but I I've only listened to it on audio, and it was years and years ago. So I'm not going to suggest it yet because I'm getting it again and I'm going to listen to it again because I heard it's one of those books that all of a sudden I've heard someone talk about it 3 times this week. I'm like, I need to read it again or listen
Right.
to it again. It was Cybernetics, but I'll suggest it to you after I listen to it again.
Okay.
Let me have you listened to or read Expert Secrets?
No, I have the book,
Okay.
but I haven't, I haven't.
Because that would be a good one to listen to.
Okay.
Have you listened to The Gap in the Game?
No.
Okay, that's Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. That's
Okay.
you know what? The Power of Now. I have heard so many good things about that. And I've tried listening to it 3 times and I don't get through it. And I don't know if I'd get more out of it if I read it, but I can't listen to it. And I mean, right now, I don't know how long it is, but I still have 3 hours and 58 minutes left. And I just
Is that, that's, I don't know how to say his name.
Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah. What was I going to say about that? It's gone out of my head. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Okay.
The one thing is very good.
The One Thing.
Yeah, by Gary Keller.
Okay.
Oh, do you know what else is good? That's nothing to do with anything you're doing. Is Green Lights.
Green Lights.
Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
And then I mean, these are more along the lines of personal development, but Limitless by Jim Quick. And then The Power of One, or The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. Oh, speaking of, did you see that I emailed you a link?
Yes.
Did it work this time?
I haven't, I just saw it when I was going on here, so I haven't tried it yet. So
I finally made it work for Tia, so I figured it would probably work for you. So,
okay. Well, that'll be good.
but
That'll
thunder
be...
going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the end of month.
Had some really crazy weather.
Yeah. But yeah, all of those books. If I was going to say one that you would probably get the most out of just for where you're going with things, it might be Expert Secrets.
Okay.
Just because I drink the Kool-Aid.
You what? You
drink the Kool-Aid.
Gotcha.
I'm all in.
Okay. Oh, that's too fun. All right. I'm wondering about building a team.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to build a team yet.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that in my long-term vision, I have a really amazing team. And I don't know why it keeps, like, it just is kind of in the forefront. When I mean, there's times where I'm like, okay, I don't need that right now, but I don't know. It's just, I think because it stresses me out, because letting go is huge.
Yeah.
It's my idea. It's my baby. It's my thing. I don't want to be questioned. I don't want to have to, no, I don't mind explaining, but I don't want to change things because someone else has an opinion.
Right.
which I get is, yeah. Like I said, I always want to be the CEO, I guess. I always want to be the one in charge.
So what do you want that team for?
I really want a personal assistant. which just cause, but I want that person, I want a personal assistant who, although I want somebody who, like, I want the tech stuff. I want I think those are the two big things for me. It would be great to have a right-hand man that my daughter has been always but she has this, like, she wants her own life. I don't know what that's about,
Go
but
figure.
it's gone off and yeah.
What are some of the things you would have that personal assistant do? And I'm leading into another question. That's why.
Okay. Keep me focused, because that's not my forte. I need that external brain to call me out and to say, here's what needs to be done today. This is your goal. You know, you want to have this book written in 3 months. Okay, this is what we agreed to in our meeting that we had, you know, so to keep that going, but then also to be able to keep me, because I can get super hyper focused. I think I have ADHD. Is that the problem? But I can get super hyper focused, but I need that only if I know that. Anyway, I think having someone there to sort of keep me moving forward.
Okay. So couple things, because the reason I was asking what they would be responsible for is because the most cost-effective way to build a team is with VAs.
VAs, okay.
And not American or Canadian VAs.
Okay.
Because you can get them so much cheaper overseas.
Okay.
And if that, one of the things I can do for you, if that's something you're interested in, let me actually just do it right now. I don't know if it's still available, but I'm going to forward you an email. One of my business partners uses VAs like crazy. In fact, he has his own office of VAs that are his staff now in the Philippines.
Okay.
But I was inquiring about something, and so I had someone else inquiring about VAs. And so I won't read the whole thing, but I asked him how he found somebody he could trust and stuff. And then he said, I originally started my team using onlinejobs.ph, but it took a lot of work to sort through applications, interview, try people out, and have to replace them if they didn't work out or disappeared. We just had a good VA, Grace, in one of our offices become available, and we're looking to place her soon. So if you are looking for someone right away, I don't know if Grace is still available or not, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to forward this email to you. And if it is something that you're interested in, you can reach out to Dave and say, can you connect me with Grace if she's available? It's Dave Olson. He used to live in he grew up in Cardston.
Okay.
He lives in Utah now.
Okay.
But then others, you know, like the other guy that I had a meeting with half an hour ago, he's got a VA in the Philippines, and then he's got another one who his son met on his mission. They were on missions together, and I think it's a guy. He came over, got an American education, moved back to Ghana, somewhere, and even with his American education, by moving back there, he's working at a VA as a VA for so cheap, but he's educated and very good. So I've never done it, but there is a process to figure out how to find the good VAs, and they can be very effective for you. Even we're setting up a system where I'm basically doing accountability for his team, and I'm meeting with his leadership team every morning, and then our calls are recorded, and I'm just sending them to the VA, and the VA transcribes them, sends out the notes to everybody, and you can find VAs that'll do whatever you want.
Right. That
Yeah.
was my next question. Like, what can they do? They can't pick up the dry cleaning, but I never do dry cleaning anyway, but.
Right. Now, the other thing that you talked about is the focus part. You know, a VA in the Philippines isn't going to help you on that,
Yeah,
but I have a solution for you.
okay.
It's called focusmate.com.
Focus mate.
Yeah. Distraction-free productivity. And what it is, and I think you can set it up with a partner, or I think you can set it up just with random people that are using it as well. And basically what you do, if you want to say, I want to focus on writing for the next 45 minutes, you go on there, you open a room with someone else that's on there that needs to focus for 45 minutes, and you got the camera on each other. And
Oh,
I've never used it, but the guy that I was just on the call with, he's been talking to me about it for 2 weeks. He uses it every day.
yeah.
And so,
Because I do so much better when I know somebody's watching. I think it's an ADHD thing.
so yeah, take a look at that.
Okay,
He swears by it.
interesting. Okay. All right.
So yeah, there's video on there and stuff. And like it's only $5 a month for unlimited, but you can also three sessions per week are free. So depending on
Oh.
what you do, it might not cost you anything.
Right. Okay,
So
perfect. Okay. What else? We talked earlier about what we talked about, was it last night about, yeah, trying to stay, like not just have this month be a write-off.
yeah.
I'm trying to do that. Oh, I did look up the, let me see if I can find it again. The thing with Zoom, like, so the that I can record.
Oh
Otter.
yes, Otter.
Okay. Does it look like that? Is that the right one?
Yes.
This blue one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And it must, like, when you connect it, I think it looks like another person on the call. Because in my calls in the morning that Jim Edwards is on, one of the people on the call is always Jim's Otter.
Okay.
And so I
Okay.
think it
You can use it,
is just, yeah, I think it's just another person on the call, but it's doing the transcription for you.
So it has to be used with Zoom?
I think
Or it can be.
It can be. I
Okay.
haven't personally used it. I think it's got
Okay.
a ton of functions. It might just be an app that you can use the app directly.
Okay. Okay. I'll look into it and figure it out. But that will be good to have as I'm, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really want to have the book done by December 31st.
That is doable. That is 100% doable if you schedule it.
Yes.
And I actually think you can get so much of it done on the way home.
Yeah.
Because, well, you know what it's like, how thoughts flow while you're driving and stuff. And if you're intentional about it, and you've got to outline in a structure, and you can be like, okay, the next however long is dedicated to this topic.
Yeah. So basically just saying it, just like I'm having a conversation with someone, because I can go back in and edit after and take and add and all of that and rearrange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, depending on how you want to do that, you can dictate that, then you transcribe it, then you can go in and piece it together how you want it, or you just send it to an editor in Fiverr and have them do that for you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we've also talked about me being Jennifer everywhere, like on all platforms and like having that.
Yes.
Okay. So I will have the blog that will be named Jennifer. And I will have, although I was noticing like on Instagram, I'm Jen. On Facebook, I'm Jen. Should I change that?
I would go in and change it so you're the same across board.
Okay. Okay. And then and is it SEO that I need to figure out on my, like on the campground website so that I can be like, so that my name is tied with that? Because you were talking about tying.
Yeah. I would do more on the campground website that shows who you are. You know, I would even have, I can't remember on yours, is there kind of an about me page for the campground website?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
is
there.
that about the campground or is it about you?
No, it's about Colin and I and yeah.
Okay. So
It probably needs to be.
that's good. And I mean, everywhere. I would just get Jennifer out there more and more and more.
Okay.
And then, and you know, as we focus on things, you know, there might be situations where you're on a podcast and because of everything that's going on, it's the campground is kind of the focus because maybe it's the entrepreneurial story of how you got to there, but it's still Jennifer's story. And it still leads back to, yeah, you can go visit the campground website at yada, 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 but also go here and get this 14-day challenge.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's always going to lead to any of the things that you have, whether it's Snaz, whether it's campground, whether it's jenniferwinder.com. Jennifer Winder is the key figure.
Okay.
And that's why someone hears about the book, the challenge, the coaching, the campground. If they Google Jennifer Winder, they're going to find it. Right. And
okay.
Now, am I jumping the gun? Maybe. What at some point, and I am just in the process of learning more about this right now. And I don't know, I am going to have a training again on it in the next while. But one of the things, and the guys actually that developed it are here in Arizona, but they created this thing basically called a hub funnel. And it's a place to kind of be centralized. And, you know, you could do it on jenniferwinder.com and have this page that's your hub funnel, where it's kind of the main page that you go there and you find the campground, you find Snaz, you find the coaching, but it's the hub that links everything together.
Okay.
Let me see if I So I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
So they built this for Garrett White. And I mean, it's basically his web page now. But when you go through it, everything he has is accessed from here, right? And so, yeah, some of them are going to take you to a different web page, but it's the hub. It's the centralized, everything is right there.
Which makes sense. So if I did Jennifer.Winder or Jennifer Winder
Yeah,
website, it makes sense to have here's the campground, here's the make a reservation, here's the like.
yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah. And then that
and the
again,
landing
that
page.
ties everything in.
Yeah. Buy the book.
Yep.
Get the book or what? Yeah.
And then still they say, okay, click on the campground. It goes to the campground website. Click on the book. It's got your page that's dedicated to the book, your landing page for the challenge. You know, each of them can have their own page or their own website, but they're all tied together.
All tied together. Okay. Okay.
Can you on your end tell how noisy it is here?
I can hear people, but it's not crazy.
I so bad need doors on this office.
Well, that's fun though.
We got 3 families here right now, and by tonight I think we have 4.
Oh, that's so fun. Can you tell how absolutely quiet it is?
Yeah, you got doors, it seems like, or else maybe you're just alone.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah, we had a cat that was lost and I found it. So I had it here for a day and it was so much better because I could talk to the cat. Now I'm just talking out loud and nobody's here, but time to be home. Oh goodness. Okay. So next 3 months, the end to June, the end of the year, I'm writing, I'm blogging, like I'm getting the website. And being a mom.
You know, that's actually good what you brought up there. I was just going through something today and actually, I think it's on my computer. I pulled up something that I did for Kodiak in 2006. And it was my 1-page strategic plan, how I was going to go about doing what I was going to do. And it's from this book, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. I was following their structure. And I had to review it because I haven't looked at it since 2006. But that combined with some other things I was looking at, this other guy, his last name is Sharp, and he has what he calls his waterfall. And he looks at his 90-day target 1. And then with that target, he's got his 30-day goals. Then he's got his 90-day target 2, and then his 30-day goals. And so you could have your 90-day target 1, the book. What's my 30-day goal for the book? And I mean, it's very much like what we're doing in the accountability group already. You know, you're looking at your big goal, break it down into a monthly goal, and that's what we're being accountable for. But I think the more intentionally you are about these things, the more progress you're going to make on it. So identifying those things, what do I want done by the end of the year? I want the book done. I want whatever, list out your things and then break them down into their 30-day goals. Because, even with Spencer in our call today, because he felt like he's been so focused on business, some of the other things are slipping. So I told him in our accountability, state, okay, here's what I'm accountable for on my business today. And here's what I'm accountable for on whatever it is. Maybe it's reading my scriptures, this many chapters, maybe it's going for a run, something on the personal side. And that's really what you could develop there is what are your 90-day outcomes that you're looking for? And then for each of those, what's the 30-day goal? Okay, if I'm going to have that book done by December 31st, what needs to happen? When do I have to have the book ready to be edited? When do I have to have it ready to press go? Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
And because even, when you've got to figure out, okay, it's going to be ready by this date, I've got to start talking about it. I've got to start promoting it. I've got to get some excitement going around it. And if you're just waiting and saying, okay, I'm done this stage now, what's next? It's very easy to get behind.
Yeah.
So if you plan it out and give yourself some deadlines and give yourself some plans, you're going to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Yeah. And having all of my hats, like, because you can get so focused on one that the other ones, and then, or the other ones show up. I mean, I'm so focused on this that because I haven't planned for that. So then I don't do anything. Like I don't get any of it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and even that happens in all areas. Sometimes I get so focused on one, I'm loving this book. I want to learn from this book. Or two, I got to get through this book because that next book I'm reading has something I really need to learn. And so then I'm so focused on that. It's like, I don't have time to read my scriptures. I'm just focused on this. And so unless you are intentional about putting some of those things in place, it's really easy to just focus on, certain things and say, the other things I don't need to worry about right now. But you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've also discovered I have these different times of the year that I reset. I mean, it's always been September and January have just been ingrained in my head because January, of course, you talk about making goals for the year. September, school starts and you're done, like, so that happens automatically. But now I've also added this 6 month, like April and October into where I'm heading home. This is done. I've focused so much on this. What do I want to make this look like? So I really do have some opportunities to refocus, which is good. Yeah. Although sometimes I find I refocus too much. And then, I don't necessarily finish what I wanted to finish, but I'm already refocusing on something else, or redoing it, or replanning it.
And and that's interesting you bring that up, because there's a couple things there. One, we do that because we make progress and we want to push that finish line out further because we know we're capable of more. But we do that and we don't celebrate our wins along the way a lot of times. It's just like, okay, push it further, just keep grinding. And we need to stop and recognize the achievements along the way too. But two is also recognizing if you're doing that, are you doing it to avoid other things that you haven't finished yet? And if that's the case, recognize it, and maybe you don't need to finish those, but don't just not finish them because of inconvenience or comfort zone or anything like that. Make a conscious decision. Is this something that I'm going to let go, that I don't need to do? Because if you move on and it is still something that you should have done, it's always going to be hanging there.
Yeah.
And so you've got to either say, no, I can move on, but we still need to do ABC, or I'm moving on and ABC are irrelevant now. I don't even need to think about them again.
Yeah. I think I use it as a procrastination tool sometimes, where it makes me feel like I'm being busy. Yeah. And I'm refocusing and I'm redoing, but it's not instead of just digging in my heels and going for it and doing, yeah. It's just something I've noticed I do every now and then. Yeah. But I like
it's something you did.
something I used to do.
Jen used to do that.
Jen does that. Yes. Jennifer doesn't do that.
That's right.
We're so organized and incredibly amazing. Yep. Yeah. I watched the movie The Devil Wears Prada. I've never ever seen it before. It's actually quite good. I always thought it was anyway. Well, yeah. But the woman who runs the magazine is like this. She's kind of, yeah, she's like, she's the devil in Prada. but yet there's something about her that I am kind of pulled to, because she is so focused, so organized, so I don't like how she treats, but I don't know, there's something about just being, and in the end she's a witch, but there's something which is maybe not super great that I think that's, I don't think that's great, but there's something about that, her energy about being so focused and so into what she,
right,
kind of being the expert and being having the authority that she has, and the nobody questions. And she doesn't even really question anymore, like to get to that
right.
point where you just know this is who I am, this is what I do. And when it's done in a way that's, like they talk about in the 1 Minute Millionaire, when it's done in that way that's good and wonderful, then it's, yeah.
So something to think about there, and just think of Jenna Kutcher, think of anyone. When you get to that point, when you don't question, when people don't question what you do, and think of it from your coaching or your retreats, you get paid more for who you are than what you're offering. Like, think of Jenna Kutcher. Are you interested in her book for what you've heard about the book, or because of Jenna Kutcher and you'll enjoy what she's offering?
Yeah. No, I totally bought it because it was Jenna. Yeah.
And so that's why I believe the authority marketing part of things is so important. And I mean, I had this conversation with Spencer today, because when we were on the call last night, I had Sheldon come on, and I told him I was going to tell him about what Spencer did. We got on his website, and he had a video on there, which I thought, oh, awesome, he's got a video. And he's like, hey, I'm Spencer. This is talked kind of his origin story about how he came up with this idea. And he's like, I have no idea, but what I'm doing, but I'm trying to get this done. And I got on the call with him, like, get rid of that video. You've got to change that video. You are like, you can't be the authority of this brand you're trying to build saying, I don't know what I'm doing.
But I totally understand that feeling, because that's what you feel inside.
Yeah. And that's what I told him too. And
inside.
And you've heard me say
so
it
brave
before.
That he's doing it, right? I mean,
you've heard me say it before, but he hadn't heard me say it. I said, I don't want to tell you to fake it till you make it, but believe it till you achieve it. And that was kind of an aha for him. He's like, oh yeah, because that's how I always feel. I feel like I'm faking it, trying to get through, but I can believe this. I already believe it. And so now I can believe it till I can achieve it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
He's going to kill it with that company, I think.
I think so too. I think he's sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is completely off topic, but when you were talking, it made me think about it. There's a documentary that I haven't watched yet, but I was telling Sheldon about it last night, and he watched it and he said it was very interesting. But it's about it's a social experiment and demonstrating how we can be manipulated and stuff like that. It's on Netflix. It's called The Push. So if you're looking for something to watch, go watch The Push and then let me know what you think.
Okay. Okay.
I want to watch it. I just haven't had time.
Okay. Okay, so I've done have you seen my videos, or not my videos, my reels or my stories that I did over the last couple of days about the septic tank and about the
Yes.
closing, about.
Yep.
Do those work?
Yes.
Like, it's it's out of my comfort zone, but
Then it's working.
okay. But there's that. Yeah, okay.
No, go ahead. What are you thinking?
Sometimes I think, well, I know what I don't want to look like, but I don't know what I want to look like.
Okay.
Like there are people that does that make sense? So like there's people on Instagram or whatever that I'm like, okay, I don't want that. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to, and I can't even tell you what it is about it.
Okay.
Which isn't helpful. Yeah. I don't want to try too hard. Like I don't want it to be fake. I don't want it to be.
And it's easy to be fake.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was last week sometime, I was trying to record something. And it's like every time I'm like, oh, that's not good. Delete, do it again, delete, do it again. And finally I was like, I'm trying to make this perfect. And I'm like, just talk. You know, because I even had my notes jotted down. I'm like reading them and, you know, trying to make it perfect. Then I was like, okay, crumple it up, throw it away, and just talk. Be natural. I mean, you look natural on there for sure. But
yeah, the whole
and that is something that you need to figure out is what is that identity that you want to embrace. And but let's see if I took
it's like picking up all these different things from other influencers that I watch and see, but making it me. I mean, it's just a fine line of, and then there's people that overshare, or there's people that are maybe too real. I don't know. Whoa.
I was listening, I was going through a training of Dan Kennedy's today. And what he was talking about was, he called it his key list of facts. And it's what he wanted people to know about him. And whether it's true or not. And he says, you want to reinforce it in everything you're doing. So these were his list of facts. I'm in high demand. I turn people down all the time. There's a waiting list to work with me. I'm extremely intolerant of having my time wasted. I'm high priced so that when they come for the price, there's no sticker shock. People are making a lot of money because they hang around me. And so he says, talk about it, write about it all the time. Be, you know, every time, like talking about, I'm in high demand. You know, he's not saying that every time, but he talks about that all the time. And then the next time might be that he's turning people down. So he said, what are the facts you want everyone to know about you? And so that goes along with what you're saying about figuring out your identity. What is that identity you want to be known for? And make sure that's in your message.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's really, really good, actually, because
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. I don't know what on that. Anything I'm forgetting? Anything else I need to know that I'm not focusing on that I should be focusing on?
There's a lot. There's a lot. And I think it can be very easy to get so much that it comes to the point where it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you either break or you throw in the towel or you're just like, whatever, too much. I need to get away from it and whatever. So I think what's important is to really narrow it down and say, okay, what's most important? And like we were saying, okay, what is my goal in the next 90 days with the book? What's my goal in the next 90 days as a mom? What's my goal next 90 days? You know, going through all those and then setting your 30-day goals for each of those, and knowing that if you listen to that book, The One Thing, it's going to, I got to get the quote. Bear with me a second.
Mm-hmm. That's that entrepreneurial
I didn't
wave.
else in there. But basically what it's going to tell you is, okay, you figure those things out, and so for your one thing for the book, what is the one thing? What's the needle mover? And that's what you're going to focus on. And that's what our accountability calls are all about, right? Is the one thing you need to do to achieve your goal. But don't worry about everything else. You know, you've got your responsibilities. You've got to know, okay, what's the one thing as a mom? What's the one thing as a wife? What's the one thing, you know, you've got all those one things. But the reality is there's a million things as a mom. But
Well,
you let them overcome you. And so don't let everything that's going on overwhelm you so that you throw in the towel.
right.
So
Right.
this, you know, because it would be very easy to get tied up with the shutdown and start getting behind on something, and then you're starting to beat yourself up over it, and then it's just frustration. Don't let that happen. Because there are, you know what, right now, the shutdown is more important than the book, right? You can't get in the car and go home if everything's not taken care of.
That's right. That's right. I can have, 6 chapters written, but if and I need to get home. So, which is why I sort of pivoted a little bit and focused on, okay, I'll post. So at least I'm working on something, but that I can fit into the rest of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow. Okay.
Helpful?
Helpful. Yeah, this is good.
Good.
Lots to think about and lots to do and it's October, so I've moved into the red.
I moved into the blue.
See, most people want to move into the black in this time of year, but
right.
red, I'm in the it was super exciting it's funny how a color can do that. But did you see what I did to my black one though? I made it my own.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It might be right here. Just my lovely wallpaper in our ancient home. Because I'm about fun.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah, I really kind of like it actually. I'm not sure if it's gonna look as good on the red one, but it worked for the black one.
Send me a picture of that. I'll post it.
Okay, I will do it. Yep. I also got stars. Did I tell you about the stars?
No.
Yeah. So when I finish, and actually I need to move them over into the red one, but when I when it says, did you do the one thing that I committed to in the morning?
Yeah.
If I can say yes, then I get a gold star.
Awesome.
It's not a big deal, but it's a big deal. Yeah.
It
And
is.
some weeks I get more gold stars than other weeks. All good. I'm still moving forward. Forward is the direction I'm going, sometimes
Right.
faster than others, but yeah. Anyway, that was good. This is good.
Alrighty. Well, thanks, Jennifer.
you. No problem.
Looking forward to everything you're gonna do.
Yeah, me too.
Have a great evening.
You too. Thanks, Jeff.
Bye.
Yeah.